Welcome to Dom's Corner, everybody. I'm your host, Dom Martino. I appreciate you joining me here today. If you like the content here, please hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comments section. I do appreciate that very much. So we got some stuff to talk about here today. We got Regal shutting down. AMC's probably going to shut down. A bunch of movies have been pushed. The 355 trailer has come out. And of course, the main topic today is Jamie Foxx is returning as Electro in Spider-Man 3. So lots of fun stuff to talk about. So let's get into all of that right here, right now. One more time, like, subscribe, and share. Most importantly, share this with your friends who you think would like this. So here we go. So starting off, though, I did want to tell you guys this, though, before we actually get to the news, is I watched this video earlier. It was the behind the scenes of, I believe it's Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. Pretty cool stuff. And it was Sam Witwer voicing Maul, and he really, man, I tell you, Witwer, even though it's a voiceover role, like, he gets so locked in, but it was the part where he yelled Kenobi. So I'll tell you, man, if you haven't checked this out, check this stuff out. I love this. Let me see if I could, I could get the link later maybe and share it in the description. But yeah, it's a really, really awesome video that I was enjoying myself earlier. So let's talk about one of the biggest things to happen here recently in the world of entertainment. Oh, and let's get to this too. Which is some more unfortunate news, that Eddie Van Halen has passed away at 65 years old. Very, very sad. I like Van Halen pretty casually, but most Van Halen songs I hear, I enjoy. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely up my alley of rock music. And yeah, I mean, didn't know a lot about him, but he was definitely an icon in music history. So definitely one of the sadder stories today. He will be missed amongst many music fans, amongst many people. So yeah, very sad stuff, guys. Very sad. So yeah, rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen. I wish we could do something more to pay tribute here. I'm a very casual Van Halen fan. I know that there are a lot of other people that love Van Halen, and yeah, I give that guy my full respect, and it's very, very sad that he's now come to pass. So, not good, guys, but show your support for Eddie Van Halen in the comments below. My thoughts and prayers obviously go out to his family, so, and the people close to him. All right, guys. So another piece of unfortunate news is that Regal is shutting down their cinemas, not for good, or who knows. But we have done this before. We've been there before. And it's not fun to have no movie theaters, I can tell you right now. Now, one of the more unfortunate things about this is it seems that movie theaters are definitely not a source of COVID thus far. They have looked at all the COVID cases, and doesn't seem that any of them have tracked back to movie theaters, which is interesting that they have to close, and restaurants, and things like that people, have gotten COVID-19 at and have to stay open. I personally don't find that to be very fair, because movie theaters did take precautions. I've been to the theater 3 times since this whole pandemic, and I can tell you firsthand that the movie theaters were being safe. They were taking the proper precautions, and all was good on that front. So it really does suck that we have to live in a world without movie theaters the way that we used to, without new films. But that's the other part of it, is that studios are afraid to release new films right now because they're not going to get they're not going to make the highest amount of money that they could be without COVID-19. So I understand that also, but to me, it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't make their money back. Now here's the thing, like Tenet, when that started or when that came out, it maybe didn't make all its money back, and I understand the hesitancy on studios to release movies because if a Christopher Nolan movie won't make movie, then maybe nothing else will. But the way I see it is a Christopher Nolan film is not Wonder Woman, it's not Black Widow, it's not the same draw, so I wonder if those have released, if they would have made money. I think Halloween Kills, if anything, should have moved its date back. I think it would have made all its money back and then some. I mean, the amount of money that Tenet made is a bad day for Tenet, but probably a pretty good day for a Halloween Kills, which was made for a lot less money, and maybe that could have gotten the momentum going again. And I think that we should have never stopped the momentum. I'm not saying open the theaters up to full capacity, everything in moderation. But I think that if everything else has to be open, then we need movie theaters to be open too. I just don't know how they're going to survive this because they have been through so much shit this year. Let's be honest. Like, theaters have definitely been through a lot of shit this year, and they're already struggling to survive. AMC is going to have to close if Regal's going to close, and we don't have any new movies. So far, like, the only two things that seem to be on track are Soul and Free Guy. I mean, there's no other movies that could be a box office draw that are on track anymore. So let's transition into that, though. Batman just got pushed to 2022. Bond just got pushed to 2021. Dune just got pushed to 2021. So there's really nothing going on outside of Soul and, oh boy, what was the other movie I just mentioned? Free Guy. And I have a feeling that they might both get pushed. If they don't have theaters to play in, I mean, where are they going to go? And what are they going to do? So, yeah, that is the dealio. And this is not good, guys, because essentially, I'm not blaming anybody here. I'm not trying to say, oh, you idiots didn't go to the theater when you should have. Because, no, like I said, everything in moderation. And I have said it before on this channel. You go, when you're going out in public at all, you're not getting rid of the risk of getting COVID, but you're reducing it by wearing a mask, but it doesn't matter. You can do all that. You're not eliminating the risk. So I understand that a lot of people didn't want to go, but I don't know that theaters can survive. And if theaters don't survive, then movie studios don't make money. That's just a fact, because that is a lot of where films make their money, is the box office. The worldwide box office for sure, but the American box office especially. I know that, and that's not to say that a lot of other countries don't help and contribute, because they do. Obviously, you look at the numbers compared to the worldwide numbers for Tenet compared to the American numbers. It's there's a pretty stark contrast there. But my point is if we don't have theaters, how do movies make money? I mean, you can put them on VOD, but are they all going to make money? I mean, you need a real special kind of movie. I do think a Black Widow would make money on VOD. I'm hesitant to just sit here and say that Wonder Woman 84 will, because I feel like people have been very split on the trailer. I mean, they'll both make money, but I'm saying they're not. Will they profit? is kind of the question, and that's what it all comes down to. And I'm not sure that they will. Maybe VOD for Americans, or for North America on VOD, and then maybe theaters for worldwide, which, I mean, UK is closing their theaters too, so who knows, guys? Who knows? This is not good, but it's really not looking good for movie theaters right now, and I do hope this isn't the end. I think my local theaters are still open for the most part, so at least we have that going. But they'll probably follow suit pretty shortly. The way I see it is, The studios seem to be pretty much like, well, they're not all closed right now, so we're going to keep a couple movies on track, but I don't know how we're going to get past this, but I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, so let's talk about fun stuff here. Okay. So, 355 trailer came out. Just watched it actually before I started this podcast. Pretty good cast. Lupita Nyong'o, Jessica Chastain, pretty awesome female leads. And yeah, I think that Penelope Cruz, sorry, I didn't want to leave her out. Looks like a cool premise for sure. I enjoy the special agent women premise. I mean, it looks like Charlie's Angels-ish, but not so much. A little less of the cheese that comes along with Charlie's Angels. So yeah, I really enjoyed the premise. I mean, it's pretty much counterterrorism, right? So, 3 women trying to counter terrorism. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. What do you think of this trailer? For me, it's one of the biggest things I'm worried about in a way, but then again, not. I have some points on why this might work and why this may not work. I mean, it's Simon Kinberg is directing, so it seems to me that a lot of people are probably not going to be happy with that. Dark Phoenix, listen, I enjoyed the movie Dark Phoenix, and I think Kinberg did an okay job with that. Let me tell you where Kinberg did really, really strong with Dark Phoenix was definitely bringing female characters to the forefront and doing a really good job. Like, I actually think, like, Sophie Turner, her character in there, like, fantastic. Jennifer Lawrence, not so much, but I think that was more of a actress issue than a director issue. But that's where, like, Dark Phoenix was strongest, was the female lead and the way that Sophie Turner was directed to act. So Kinberg's probably going to be really strong there, but he's a fairly new director, which, by the way, if you're fairly new, you should be tackling some original IPs like this 355, because let's be honest, that's typically where newcomer directors get their start, right? I mean, Kinberg's kind of been in the film industry for a long time, doing various other things, writing mostly, but he's kind of new. He's pretty new to directing, and his first film, Dark Phoenix, which unfortunately had a lot of pressure on it, did not do very well. People didn't really like it. I enjoyed it, but that doesn't mean people enjoyed it. So, but even though I enjoyed it, I had a lot of issues with it. So, I do have a review of that up here on the channel too, so you guys can look at that and see what that was. But, and the second time watching it, I think I liked it a little bit better too than even when I reviewed it. So, not a terrible movie to me. I just hope that what the good things that I saw in Dark Phoenix from Kinberg transfer to everybody else with this 355 film. The other cool thing about it is coming from Jessica Chastain's production company, which I guess the whole goal of that is to get more female-led films that are actually really good and just feel kind of seamless, right? Like, because the goal isn't to just have female-led films for the sake of female-led films. I think there needs to be an even balance of that. Don't get me wrong, like, of female and male-led films. But I think more the goal is to get female-led films where you don't care if it's a female. And that's the same thing with male-led films. Like, you shouldn't care if it's male, right? Lead. I understand why people do, because male were leading films for years and years and years, and they seem to get the roles over women. You had to be something really special, like an Audrey Hepburn back in the day, in order to get those roles. But yeah, males seem to take over action movies and things like that. But this did feel seamless, and as far as the trailer goes, like, I enjoyed the tone of it, and it looks like it's actually going to be pretty good. And I'm looking forward to it. Like, this is genuinely one of those movies, like, just based on the trailer, I'm looking forward to it. But when I consider who's behind it, I get a little freaked out for this movie. In the business sense, like I might actually enjoy it because, like I said, I liked a lot of elements of Dark Phoenix. I think Simon Kinberg did a really good job on that. So, anyway, guys, did you see the trailer for 355? What do you think of it? Are you excited? Do you think it's gonna actually come out in January? That's the other thing. Got to take into consideration the release of it. So we'll see. Do you think it's gonna be good? January's been um kind of known as Hollywood's dumping ground. I think Bad Boys for Life was a January movie though, and that movie turned out fantastic last year. So it might actually be pretty good. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. That's really all it comes down to. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, so let's move in here to the biggest topic today, which I probably got a lot of things to say about this stuff. Yeah, here we go. So Jamie Foxx is returning as Electro. This is something that I cannot really grasp, but I can because we are living in a world where everything's very nostalgia based, and we got a Michael Keaton coming back for Batman, a different universe. But it was teased right at the end of Spider-Man: Far From Home, like in a way that we might start opening up the multiverse because we had J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson. At the time, we probably all just thought it was, well, a lot of people. I actually speculated this differently, but a lot of people were thinking it's just a fun casting thing. But I actually think it means the multiverse. Like, I think J.K. Simmons coming back as J. Jonah Jameson means the multiverse. And we know they're going to play with the multiverse because Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is called Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness for a reason, I would imagine. Sam Raimi is coming in to direct that film, and I've been saying it since I heard this news that I bet you he brings in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I think you could actually probably take it to the bank that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Mans are coming back. They're taking from their worlds and they're going to put it in this multiverse deal. I think it's actually really fun and exciting. My problem with this news is it had to be Jamie Foxx's Electro. I hope it's just the tip of the iceberg about what we're going to see coming back, but I also don't want this multiverse to become too crammed. But I enjoy the idea of crossing over with different past universes that we've opened up in Marvel. But Jamie Foxx's Electro. So Amazing Spider-Man 2 is to me a fine movie. I actually think it's fine. I haven't watched it in a while, but I know that the last time I watched it, I was like, it's a fine movie. I enjoy Andrew Garfield's portrayal as Spider-Man. I enjoyed Emma Stone's portrayal, Gwen Stacy. I did not mind Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin. I know that a lot of people say that that's blasphemy. My biggest problem with The Amazing Spider-Man 2 are, CGI things, how short it was. Some editing problems, things of that nature. So it's really not the greatest, but my biggest problem above all those things in that movie, especially the last time I watched it, was the execution of Jamie Foxx's Electro. The only thing to me that was good about Jamie Foxx's Electro was Spider-Man's interaction with Jamie Foxx's Electro, but not coming from Jamie Foxx's Electro. Jamie Foxx is a very talented actor. I like him. I haven't been happy with a lot of the work he's been doing. Not because of him as an actor. I just don't think he's been getting good work. But, maybe I'll still do a review for Project Power, but I was not impressed. I could say that much with that film. I didn't think it was very good. And so I'm hesitant. It's weird that this is the one that they're kind of bringing out there. So, like I said, I hope it's the tip of the iceberg. The other thing we got to consider here is that The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not a movie that was very well received by audiences either, or critics. Not a lot of people like this movie. In fact, it tanked critically. The fan score is not good on it. audiences did not like it too much. I mean, there's some members, but for the most part, people did not like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So again, it's odd to take a character from that movie and bring it in. So I don't know if this makes business sense. It makes sense in general because we're going to be opening up a multiverse. So yeah, bring in a ton of people if you want to. But yeah, I would really like to hear a bunch of different perspectives on this. But I definitely think that on one end, it's a good move to open up the multiverse. On the second end, if this is all they're doing, that's not good. But I'm gonna say this, like I said, you can almost count on. I can almost guarantee this is gonna happen. We're gonna have all three Spider-Mans in Spider-Man 3. It just makes sense the more you think about it. I think that you're going to see Tobey Maguire pop up in Multiverse of Madness. I think him and Strange are going to be doing some stuff together. The fact that Sam Raimi's directing, why wouldn't he use that iteration of Spider-Man again in a multiverse movie? I feel like it's a lot of the reason they hired him. I know that they say Derrickson was fired for creative differences, but my guess is that he wanted to do a multiverse that didn't bring in some of these older heroes, right? Or older iterations of heroes from different universes. That's my guess. But hiring Raimi might have been the reason. I mean, there's probably a reason they did it. And it's just a theory. I don't have any inside information on this. Just my theory is that they probably hired Sam Raimi because they wanted to go in this multiverse direction, and they knew that if anything can get Tobey Maguire back, it would be Sam Raimi. Another theory number 2, though, on that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness movie, Tobey Maguire didn't want to work with Scott Derrickson. Tobey Maguire would only do it if they hired Sam Raimi. To me, that is the most likely scenario, which might be why they made the choice ultimately to get rid of Derrickson. And listen, I know that sounds like they're catering to an ass if they did that, but the fact is that it also kind of makes sense to have Sam Raimi direct Tobey Maguire again on one end. So they may have seen more pros than cons on that business deal. I don't know if that's the actual case, guys. It's just speculation for right now. But that is the best guess I can come to. Yeah. Something else I've been doing, by the way, just a fun little thing. I've been playing Star Wars Squadrons. I'm not going to really give a full review on that yet, but I can tell you guys, I'm having a lot of fun with this game. It's been a big... It's kind of like a big risk to really buy a game right now, but I think this is the last game I'm going to buy on this console that I have, on this generation of console I have right now, because PS5s are coming soon. Xbox Series 1X are coming somewhat soon, I'm assuming. PS5s are next month. It's kind of insane. The other thing that's happening at the end of this month, speaking of Star Wars, is Mandalorian Season 2. I'm very excited to start watching that. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it feels unreal that we're so close to getting the Mandalorian Season 2. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I do got to cut it real short compared to the usual, guys, and I'm sorry about that. I think we covered quite a bit here today, though. Hopefully it was enough for everybody out there listening. I hate doing these shorter shows. I want to try to find ways to make them a little bit longer, so we're going to get around to that hopefully soonish. But listen, guys, I do have to cut it. Once again, if you're new here, I've been Don Martino. That's something else. If you're new here, definitely share this with your friends or friends that you think would enjoy this kind of content. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section. I appreciate that very, very much. If you like the content here today, again, share it with your friends. I will also be leaving my Twitter and Instagram in the description below, so be sure to follow me there. Guys, thank you for joining. I've been Dom Martino. This has been a new episode of Dom's Corner. And guys, look forward to the Return of the Jedi review with Adam Leach and myself on Saturday. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. I've been Dom Martino, and I will see you guys with Adam on Saturday. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it, guys. Bye-bye.